I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease about 15 years ago, and it frightened me. I didn't know what to think. I had read about Parkinson's on the internet, and I was afraid I would not be able to do the things that I do now.
It was pretty bad with my balance. Keep from falling one way, and I made a cross step. When I was walking, every one leg crosses over, and you hadn't done nothing to make it do that.
It's a ministry that was developed within First Baptist Church, our fitness ministry. And Rock Steady Boxing is an exercise program for patients that have been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And it's a non-contact boxing sport that works on balance training, strength training, range of motion, and all the symptoms that come along with the disease. We try to combat those symptoms by specifically training the brain to move the body.
18, 19, 20, good job.
They're going through a struggle, through Parkinson's itself, but also, and Parkinson's affects their families as well. They're teaching us how to deal with their struggles. And we all have struggles in our lives, whatever it may be. But just, you can have a positive attitude about it, or you can sit at home and waste away.
Our inspiration was one of our fitness members who was diagnosed himself as a young onset Parkinson's patient. And he was really struggling in some of our classes, and he learned about Rock Steady Boxing and that it was helpful. So I started studying about it and saw that the results were really working. And so we decided to, well, first we prayed about it as a church would. And then I took it to the ministers and the leadership of the church, and I shared the testimonials of other Rock Steady boxers around the nation. And when they heard the testimonials of how it was really working and helping change lives and give people their life back, the leadership in our church said, how can we not do this? How can we not bring something this helpful to the people of our community?
That's it. That's the one.
Amy's pretty tough on us. She gets us going, but it's good for us. She keeps us busy for a solid hour. We don't stop. We keep going and going and going. And she blows that whistle, get with it, get with it, get with it. And we do, and it's working.
They look at my shirt, they say, "You're a boxer." I say, "Well, yes and no." But I said, "I don't do much boxing. Most of it is good exercise that brings a lot of people from where there was on up there to being healed."
I like hitting the heavy bags. It just makes you feel good to reach out there, because you rotate your hands, hit that bag, and you're building muscles.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
With Parkinson's, sometimes they have problems with swallowing, and breathing, respiratory issues. And so one of our very specific activities today was sucking through a straw and trying to pick up a piece of candy.
I tell you what, I don't think you left any air in this straw.
We do all kind of 4 exercises. We do the heavy bags, the speed bags. She keeps us hopping. I mean, we do not stop. She's a slave driver, but she's wonderful.
When you're hitting a speed bag, you have to stand up straight, you've got to pull your shoulders back, you've got to look up, so that helps with stooped posture, which is, one of the other symptoms that they suffer from. We work on large gross motor skills like big steps and skipping, because with Parkinson's, they typically start to shuffle their feet and have a real narrow gait. And so every exercise that we do has a purpose and has a reason, and that is to combat the disease, to slow the progression of the disease.
Before I joined Rock Steady Boxing, I could not get out of a chair without falling back down into it and have someone help me out. But since I have been doing Rock Steady Boxing, I have become stronger. I can do things like this. I'm so happy. And when I fall down or get down in the floor, I can pop right up.
For the boxers as well as the volunteers, it's it's a total person ministry. We work on physical, but we also, you know, we want to know the stories, their boxer stories, and how they're doing. It's family, so you check on family, you know, and so we've made visits in hospitals with them. We've gone through some hard times with them, with their families, and so it's emotional. And you know, we just had a funeral last week for one of our boxers, and that was a hard time. So
we cried big tears over him because he's family, and so we're very close emotionally, physically. We're just bonded, and spiritually, you know, we're all growing. It's just a total health program.
Just being able to be here, to associate with the people, teachers, volunteers, everything like that. It's wonderful to see that many people volunteer to help so many people, somebody else.
Being a volunteer, serving with the boxers themselves, has been such a blessing for us. Getting to know the boxers, know their stories, and to see the improvement they're making, just the joy they have coming and being among other boxers, that's been a blessing for us.
Our Parkinson's buddies and volunteers at this church are fantastic. They volunteer their time, they help us, they work with us, and all of our friends that are boxers, we all have the same problems. We share news with each other. It's just a wonderful organization. I'm so happy to be in Rock Steady.
Every person that comes in here has been diagnosed with the same disease. They are all fighting the same thing. And so they're a fighter and they're a family in this fight.
Repeat after me. Roses are red.
Roses are red.
Hard work is blue.
Hard work is blue.
Rock steady boxing.
Rock steady boxing.
Is just